Well, hello, everybody. Good morning. Happy Memorial Day if you're in the United States. Take a moment to remember all of our fallen service members who gave us their lives so we could live the way we do. It's something we cherish here in the United States. So awesome. And if you're, a patriot, expat, as we call it, and you're living overseas, it's happy Memorial Day to you too. Well, I started talking to the camera, and look what happened. Here she is, like clockwork. Yes, good morning, Frito. Hello. That's my girl. She chased a chicken this weekend and got into a little bit of trouble, but that's okay. We're learning not to chase chickens. Yes. You want to go fish? Yeah, good girl. Good dog. Yeah. Thank you, Annette, for the goldfish. Those are hers. They have her little doggy sign on them. Yeah. Well, thank you all very much. Yeah. Veterans Day is when we recognize veterans, right? Yeah. Keith and I are both veterans. We both served. We're both military retirees, and I've got flat hair today. Texas. You never know what's going to happen. We were both blessed to serve during peacetime. Praise Jesus, right? So anyway, well, now she's down. She just gets her little goldfish, and then there it is. That's the rest of the day. You're looking at her schedule right there. See that? Anyway, well, I hope there's my flag from my retirement up there in my shadow box. My buddy Sally made that for me when I retired. She had that commissioned. Awesome. All right. So I wanted to share with you guys some work I got done this weekend. I got a video shot for Sewing Machines Plus. I got to edit that today and get that out. So you'll see that come out later. And I want to give you a piece of advice. Well, thank you, Roro. I appreciate that. Are you the same Roro that wrote me and then signed it, Roro? You know, my father was in the military. My grandfather was in the Army Air Corps. So I was born with an ID card, you guys. I didn't know any other life. So, but I appreciate all of your comments. That's very nice. And I know a lot of you. What does my shirt say? My shirt says, a lady never discusses the size of her fabric stash. Whatever happened to things we don't discuss? You know that? I remember we used to not discuss like religion and politics and money or something like that, and everything was fine. Whatever happened to that? So I wanted to share with you, let me share with you some goodies that came in the mail, because that's always fun, isn't it? Let's see. I did not show you guys on the live Sunday live, the Creative Notions box, but I wanted to show y'all. There was another gift that I got when I was on the cruise. What did I do with my phone? Hold on a second. I got to find this picture. Right here. Y'all, there was this cruiser with us. We were on Sew and Sail 14 with Designs by Juju. And thank you all for your Memorial Day wishes. Thank you. Look at this little zipper pouch with a wristlet on it. Look at this. Lady named Jackie sewed these. She made over 100 of them. She said it took her over 3 months. And she gave one to everybody on the cruise that was in our class. How nice is that? Very cool. So my friend Candace really enjoys hers because she keeps her AirPods in here. And she also has a battery that she plugs into the bottom of her phone. And it fit in here too. And she loved it. And I like that it's clear so I can see what's inside of it. Because if it's not, I'm like, what's in there? And I'll forget that I lost something in there. So yeah, that was very generous, Cindy. I know, my gosh. And I had taken a picture of her and I wanted to show you guys. I took a picture of her in front of all of her in front of everything she made. And I don't want to scroll on my phone, but I'm going to in front of you guys. I don't want to ignore you. I know. But it's just unbelievable. I had her sit there. There it is. Look at her in front of all of these. There's all the pouches. Look at that. And there she is. How nice. Very, very nice. So they were all different colors, all different kinds and styles, and just so sweet of her. And so everybody got, there was 90 of us that were sewing. So everybody got one, and then all of the staff. And that was really, really cool. Very nice gift. I've thought about that. What if I made all of the cruisers X? And then my brain kicks in and goes, no, my friend, that is not in your schedule. She's very sweet. We have the best time with cruisers. They are so sweet and nice. It's really nice. All right. And I wanted to show you guys too. Oh, so Friday we were working on a card. I was working on stitching cards from Fabric Confetti. I've got a link below too to Fabric Confetti. They have got 20% off for Memorial Day on all of their digital designs. So if you want to check that out, click the link below and jump over to it. And there's a coupon code for 20% off. If you've been eyeballing something, this would be a real good time to get that, that nice, Proud American banner that they make for Memorial Day. You can have it ready for next year, right? But be sure to watch that class, the free class that Vanessa gave us for how to align letters vertically. That was a great class. Anyway, whoops. This is Petite Cacti. This is the card I was making. Check this out. And I added a font to it underneath to make it a thank you card. Look at that. Look how that turned out. Isn't that cool? I love it. And then, so was making this on Friday. This is all applique, and y'all, that cactus batik was perfect for the cactus. I love it. And then inside I ordered some Southwest papers. So there's the inside of it, and I can just write my little thank you note in there. How cool is that? Also, Saturday we went to a neighbor's 65th birthday party, and I needed to whip up a gift, which is why, as quilters, what did I just do with my phone, y'all? And embroiderers, we keep blanks on hand, right? Let me do this down just a little bit. Let me show you what I made for her. Should be right here at the bottom. Last couple pictures I took. Yes. So I made her, let me turn this sideways. Okay. This is a Designs by Juju little. It's says, hey, good looking, what you got cooking? So I made that for her. And then I also made, she got that. And I can't find, there it is. It says, hello, gorgeous on it. And it's a little makeup bag. And it's got a flower. Now that whole design was, Hello Gorgeous is the Starstruck font from Designs by Juju. And that flower is an individual little embroidery design from Designs by Juju. And I just merged them together in Brilliance Essentials and curved the bottom Gorgeous. And so it all just fit together, right like that. And the blank is from All About Blanks. So she got a towel and a little makeup bag on her 65th. What are you going to give somebody who turns 65, right? They're happy to be healthy. That's the best gift of all, is it not? And I had a package come in from Missouri Star. Y'all, I don't know why. Because I'm a glutton. I got the simple shapes for how to build a scarecrow. That's Lori Holt's new sew along that's coming out. Now, if you've got a load of Lori Holt fabrics, which I do, I've got buckets of them, right? Buckets. If you get the simple shapes, you pretty much got it right there. Yeah, I'm just like, I don't need to buy any more Lori Holt fabric. If anything, I need an excuse to use it up, right? So if you buy the simple shapes, you can run these through the ScanNCut on the scanning mat, and that's going to give you your outline for your applique, and you can snap-applique a Lori Holt quilt, just like I did chicken salad. So I got that. And then because I had to get the needle minder, because I collect these, and I wish I didn't, but I do. But I've got lots of space for my collection of needle minders. So I try to only get needle minders. You need more Lori Holt fabric? Tina. That's great. I'm with you. No. I try to get the needle minders for quilts that I am making. So they're kind of a reminder of the ones that I made. So that's kind of cool. He's super cute. Let me open him up. This is not a needle minder. This is just an out and out magnet for sure. So a needle minder is supposed to be something that is small that you can put, like if you're hand stitching and you can put your needle on it in a hoop, a hand hoop. Well, this guy's like 4 inches tall and he's super cute. So this is what I do with them. I've got them all over the front of this is my light bar. You can see them kind of up the edges here. Anyway, uh-oh. What happened? There we go. I had an issue. I don't know if you guys can see that. Can I run the shapes through the ScanNCut without tracing? Yes. Valerie, where did you go? So I had traced mine for chicken salad, and I guess I just naturally thought that it wouldn't work because they're clear and the flap on the scanning mat is clear and, they wouldn't show. Well, my sidekick Valerie on my Sunday Lives, she just ran her shapes right through there without even thinking about it, and it worked perfect. So, yeah, that's a lot of needles to remember. I know, right? So anyway, I'm going to do that first. And if it doesn't work, then I'll just trace it. But some work, some don't. I don't. Anyway, so that's kind of cool. But now I've got it. And with this particular quilt right here, so this is on her autumn line. She's got a new fabric line out called Autumn. See that? Okay. So that's a whole new fabric line. And there's 63 templates in here. There's a lot of piecing, but the point is there's a free, they call it a sewing guide, and it tells you exactly what to do and how to put it all together. So it's like a free pattern. Now there's going to be probably some, I didn't look at the pattern closely, but there's probably going to be some pieced elements in the pattern that you need to have one or another or two or three of Lori Holt's. I think they usually try to keep it to one. Lori Holt's pattern books. So whether it's Farm Girl Vintage, which is probably because Scarecrows Farms, yeah. You'll probably need one of those books. I don't know which one. I have not eyeballed the pattern and spent any time staring at it. So, hey, I'll give you a little piece of advice if you're making the sashings for Happy Halloween. We are in the process of doing that, and I spent the weekend doing sashings. As they, I won't show you more fabric, Betsy. I know. I'm an enabler. I know. Subscribe, you guys. Thumbs up. You watched How to Build a Scarecrow this morning. Good, Teresa. I need to take a look at that. I've got work to do in here. I've got to insert a new AC adapter or reinsert. There we go. That wasn't in there tight. So as you're making your sashings, as they come out of the hoop, trim them up right away. I looked at mine all weekend going, I need to trim that right now. And then I got busy and did something else. I went squirrel off, pew. Well, now I have a bundle of sashes and cornerstones that I have to cut and videos to edit to show you how to do them. My life. I got to show you guys what I did. So I ordered, and I put a link to these right below in the description box. Just click on the more ... click that and jump and see. Remember last week I was complaining about I needed better storage for my thread that was right here behind my machine. I had one of those peg racks. Look what happened. Yay. So these are racks. Look at that. Ta-da. These are racks for nail polish bottles for salons. They are perfect. Now you've got to watch the depth of the rack. So the depth on these is 1.88. Okay. And they're perfect. And take a look at it, because this is the last time it's going to be this organized. I promise. That's not how I roll. It'll end up being all of my favorites frequently used right here, I'm sure, where I'm just reaching and putting stuff away and just grateful that it's up off the shelf, up off the cabinet here. But these worked out perfect. So there's a lot of them that are 1.6 in depth, which is the front to back. So you need something, depending on your spools. This 1.88 is perfect for isocord, glide, and exquisite threads. And it holds 13 across. I put a picture of it on Facebook and showed Keith making them level and getting them right using my Quilter Select ruler. But I really, really like this. Now, I get a lot of questions about thread in sunlight. And I was watching an episode from Designs and Machine Embroidery with Eileen Roche. Now, exquisite thread is from Designs and Machine Embroidery. And she said, yes, Claudia, I have many videos to show you how to turn an SVG into an embroidery design. Lots and lots. Happy Halloween is one of them. And that's a whole series. So that is called snapplique. And any of my videos that say snapplique will tell you how to do that. Keith is the greatest. I know. Don't tell him, Doris. His head goes. Y'all, today's poly threads are not like the old cotton threads of yesteryear. Okay. They don't rot if they're not in direct sunlight. So these are not, they're right next to the window. The window's not shining on it. So they'll be just fine. A lot of people ask about dust. You can certainly put some sort of, at Walmart, they have they've got those long, in the sewing area, they have those long clear tubes of like tablecloth plastic or vinyl or whatever. You could get a piece of that and fashion it to the top somehow and let it drape over. I'm not going to do that. My room gets dusted, deep dusted every other week. And the nice thing too about this is important. These particular shelves have little ends on them. And Keith broke one during installation. You can't see it. It's clear. Okay. It had little tabs here at the bottom, but that was a spare. I had a spare one because my husband, right? And they've got little ends on them, which prevents the spools from falling off either side. Very happy with this. Very, very happy with this. I think this is a good solution, and I've got room to grow. See, there's room up there. Now, anything I put up there, because I've got cabinets in front of it here, I'm going to have to go probably get myself a pair of long barbecue tongs to reach. That's what I do on the top cabinets in the kitchen. But, or keep a feather duster next to me. Yeah, no, a Swiffer does great. Those little Swiffer dusters are perfect. You don't have walls in your studio. I know that's terrible. So Teresa, I got them on Amazon, but I've got a link to these racks right below in the description box because it's easy to get the wrong rack. I measured my spool. The base of the spool is 1.75 inches. Well, you need the depth larger than 1.75 so that those spools can all fit in there. So be careful about the ones you get. Okay. Yeah, I love tongs too. They're fun. So that was a project that got done yesterday. They arrived and I said, Keith, he was watching TV and I go, I got a project for you. Come on. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're here too, Ginger. I could install them on the inside of a cabinet. I could. I don't have a cabinet to install them. I still have in my batting cave, my back cave, I still have a pegboard wall full of threads. And there is a drawer under, there's a drawer right underneath where Spanky sits, my 10 needle. You pull that out and it's loaded down with thread as well. But the point was, I had them, they were all over the top of my machine. They were all over the table right here. They were all on this right here. And it was just crazy. They were growing and multiplying. So I did remove the thread tree from behind the machine. It's sitting right down here. And I removed this because when I'm doing a project, before the luminaire and that little tray that it has, I use this all the time. You know, I put all my threads on this and just kind of hold them there until I needed them. Well, with the tray on the back of the luminaire, it eliminates the need for this. And on the Stellaire, the lid sits up, so this would still be handy. This is also in my Amazon store. Best 20 bucks you'll spend, you guys. Oh, so, oh, now it's come apart. There we go. All right. So I got that still. And then today I thought we would go through, today I thought we would go through another block of the, yeah, Becky has thread. Oh my gosh, you guys. You know, quilters do fabric and embroiderers do thread, and I am both, which is why I don't even think about indulging in paper or vinyl crafting. Because, yeah. All right. Anyway, I wanted to let you guys know what I have here. I told you about 20% off today, ends at midnight. Fabric confetti, 35% off sulky stabilizers. I've got a link below to that as well, right in the beginning, top of the description box. 35% off of sulky stabilizers, you guys. Grab. Today is the day you want to restock your water-soluble topper if you need more of that. And any of that sulky water super solvy, any water solubles. I mean, all of their stabilizers are on sale, but I buy other stabilizers usually off of Amazon or something like that. But 35% off of sulky, and it's at sulky, so you're eliminating the middleman, so there's no markup there, and then another discount on that. So that's what I wanted to be sure to tell you guys. So how cute is that little book? The little book cover is adorable. My gosh, so handy. But I had wanted to show y'all, I get a lot of questions about how much to enlarge Kimberbell SVG files on designs. And that is really subjective. Kimberbell's SVGs notoriously are too small. They're not large enough for that final satin stitch to catch that edge. I don't know why. Same goes for Sweet Peas SVG files. And I want to show you guys, let me open up Canvas. I wanted to show you how I am doing this. Oh, let me log in. This is some tricks you can do to help you with, what are the links for both my blog and my Amazon page? Debbie, powertoolswiththread.com. That's my blog. And on my blog, you can go to Shop PTWT links. There's a tab for that. That's one of my pages on my blog. And right there is everybody that I'm affiliated with. And I appreciate you asking and using those. I appreciate that. All right. So I'm going to go to present and share screen. And I logged in to Brother Canvas. I want to show you guys. Oh, I need to open up Embrilliance as well. Let me get back over here. All right. So we're on, this is Canvas Workspace. This is the online version. I need my USB to put into my computer and show you guys where I got all this from. So I'm just going to go to my projects right here and click that. Now these are the SVG. Take a look at this. What a mess. These are the SVG files for the Blueberries block on June's mini quilt for Kimberbell. And when you pull in just the design, there's two separate files for leaves 1 and leaves 2. Now, these are the blueberries, and this is the bowl, but leaves 1 and leaves 2, you don't know which is which. So what I ended up doing, let me go back. What I ended up doing was uploading them separately. And then, so this is leaves 1 right here on this page, on this part. This is leaves 2. And then here's the blueberries and here's the bowl. So that's what I ended up doing with that. Just so you guys can see. Let's see. Let me stop sharing this. And I wanted to get into the USB that I brought. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this or not. Let me see. Yeah, the Kimberbell one. So when you upload SVG files, it's one SVG file called Blueberries, and that's it. One SVG file. And from them. And so what I did was I created SVG files in Embrilliance. And that's what I had wanted to show you guys, was how to do that. And I think I did. I've got it on this USB. I have Embrilliance open. It's such an easy thing to do. Let me go to Window and Embrilliance and Share. Okay, so we're on Embrilliance now. I'm just going to open up. What is this? This is an embroidery file. This is the whole embroidery file for blueberries. And so how I separated that, see how these leaves are all mixed in with the blueberries? It's impossible, right? So what you do is you open up the plus sign in the objects panel right here, and you get, so there's the placement line for the bowl. And that placement line is what you turn into an SVG file. And you do that by coming down to the properties box and clicking on the color tab, and just click the color tab. And when you click on that color chip, you get a thread box dialog pop up, and it says color and applique. And you go to applique and you tell it applique position. When you do that, right here, you have a cutting box and it says inflate. Now, I inflated mine to 1.5 millimeters, which is the default. Let me do that. You can change it. 1.5 millimeters, and then just click save. Okay. So I'm just going to cancel because I already did all that. And that is what I uploaded into Canvas Workspace. So I just want to show you guys that. All right. I did it with all of the placement lines. The bowl, there is leaves 1. See these tiny little things? I don't want to cut those in the hoop. That's miserable. All right. And then there's your tack down, and there's a final stitch. There's final stitch of the bowl. And then you get through here. There are leaves 2. Okay. And they're all blue. It actually says default 1 blue. These are changed, I don't know, for whatever reason. And then There's your blueberries. Okay, so then everything else is just the rest of the stitching. So because, let me get back here. Because the SVG files that you are given from Kimberbell that come on the CD, if you don't have embroidery software, you're going to probably want, can you use the SVG files and make them? Yes, Betsy, because you were asking about this last week, and I'm doing this for you, sweetheart, because you asked. If you don't have embroidery software, you can make them bigger on the ScanNCut. And I recommend when you scan them, when you pull that SVG file into the ScanNCut, make it larger by 2 to 3 clicks. I think 3 clicks is safest. If you go into Object Edit and you get your stretchy arrow box, click that, right? 1.5 comes out a little too big. Okay. And Elizabeth, what'd you say, Elfaber? I bet you suggest doing that project on a day you have lots of patience. So, well, here's the thing with the 1.5 inflate. Okay. It is better to trim a tiny bit outside of that line. Do what I call micro trimming around a tiny bit than it is for it to be short and the line to be just to the outside of that piece of fabric. You don't want that, right? Because the way they do industry standard is like a 3 millimeter width satin stitch. Their inside edge of that satin stitch just touches that piece of fabric for some reason. It just touches it. If you do a 1.5 millimeter, and even if it's sticking out just a tiny bit, I bet you that 3 millimeter satin stitch is going to cover a little bit of overage. Okay. Oh, you cut it out of cardstock, Doris? That's a lot of work. We don't do that. Here at Power Tools with Thread, we let the ScanNCut do all that work. Now, but if you've got embroidery software, and if you don't have Embrilliance and you have a different kind, just look in your index for SVG, okay? And it'll tell you how to turn SVGs into applique. So I was going to go ahead and cut out, let me turn this on, all of the applique files for that blueberries thing, because that's a lot of work. And I've got everything I need. I'm so prepared today. Girls, I'm on my game. Big time. So here's leaves 1. That's leaves 2. Blueberries in a bowl, right? So I need, and I already, like I said, I had already sent it up to Canvas. I just need to download it. Let me do that quickly while I'm here. And I'll just hit this great big download button. And let me scan and cut transfer. I know you guys can't see that. It just took me a second. So I'm already done, right? So I pulled the SVG files in. I've got a lot of thread all over this. I need to clean this up. I got a little booty wipe right here. Walmart. I like these. Let me clean this up. You got coffee. Oh, you guys, there's a virtual kitchen. Wander over there. There's fresh coffee, juice, and you can find just about anything over there you want. Bagels. I got bagels at the grocery store, my pickup this weekend. I was out. I love a good bagel. Toasted with I like cinnamon raisin with strawberry cream cheese. That's my favorite. Keith likes plain. He's not a raisin guy. Someone led you on a lesson to import fonts or use fonts in your jump drive on your Janome 500E. You can see them with the jump in the computer, but not the fonts. Oh. Well, it depends on, are they Jeff fonts? You should be able to see Jeff fonts on that. Don't know. You already had your oatmeal. Good. Awesome. All right, so I've got this pretty much cleaned up. I'm going to let it dry a second. And I don't remember if I sent the embroidery design over here or not. Let me see. Point it at my luminaire. Let's see. A pocket for memory, wireless. Did I? I don't see it. All my sashing. Must be. I think it's on my USB. Why didn't I send it over? Oh, I know why I didn't send it over wirelessly. I was stitching on my my 10 needle. And the last file I had sent wirelessly from a Brilliance was over to my 10 needle, and you can't do both. Don't feel dumb, Candace. Don't feel dumb. Well, I never do anything dumb. Just watch this channel long enough and you'll know that for sure. Oh my goodness. Y'all, I threw these designs on my clear blue tiles USB. I just grab anything. I was working this weekend on another embroidery design and threw it on my Pro Stitcher USB. Oh my gosh. Let me go back. Let me go to my USB tab and see what I got. Okay. So here's my June Blueberries design right there. Set. Perfect. All right. I'm ready to stitch it out. Yay. And I have got, so all of my fabric has Heat and Bond Light on the back already. So that's good. We got that. I've got tons of stuff I've been showing y'all. And then my backing fabric. Is there a code for Sulky? No, no code, Anna. Just use, if you use the link below in the description box, I appreciate that. That way they know it came from me. I get credit for it. If you can't find it, don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. So I'm just going to pop this in. And all right. Yeah, the Sulky doesn't have a code. They just have all their stabilizers 35% off. That's a heck of a deal, you guys. This is the time of year when thank you, Etta K. I appreciate that. This is the time of year when I stock up on my water solubles. All right. Let's see. Keep my hands away from the carriage, blah, blah. Turn on my iron. Need that. Retrieve previous memory. No. Cancel. All right. Let's see what we're doing here. My coffee's too far away from me when it's over on that side of the machine. I can't have that. That hoop size, Teresa, is a 6x10. Yeah. All right. Okay. What do we got here? But let's see. You open the zip file. Did you, Candace, did you unzip the file or did you just double click it and get in there? You need to right click and extract all. Otherwise the files won't work. Did you do that? Okay. So let's get in here. I'm going to go to retrieve data. And then I'm going to get it from the cloud because I just sent it down. Retrieving. Today would be nice. Today would be great. Maybe tomorrow. My machine, my goodness. Any suggestions of which water soluble to get? Yeah, El Faber, get the, okay, this is the one I want. All right. So what I got to do now, get the regular Solvay, which is it's used what we call as a topper. All right. So let me see here. I'm doing two things at once. That's the kind that you use. So I use that sulky topper, the Solvy topper on that makeup bag that I made for my neighbor because it had a nap to it. So let's see, the mat is this direction. I know what I'm doing here. So I'm going to put my leaves one right here. All right, and leaves two. And then they have the regular Solvy. That's the flimsy stuff that looks like Glad Press and Seal. You're welcome, Candace. That's usually the culprit, is if you just double click a zip file and get into it, you didn't unzip it. You got to unzip it. And then they have Ultra Solvy and they have Super Solvy, which is a stiffer, it looks like a heavier plastic, a rubberized plastic for my blueberries. And then they have Ultra Solvy, and that's a super heavy water soluble. I don't use that as much. I really go through that topper though, whenever I'm embroidering on towels. So the regular Solvy is my favorite. And the bowl, which way is the bowl? The bowl needs to be turned sideways like this. This is a directional fabric. Pay attention. All right. I'm just going to take my little, now this is the low tack mat, the aqua low tack, and I've got my fabric pretty side up and heat and bond light on the back. And a lady wrote me and asked me this weekend if you could useTerial Magic on your fabric and then something like KK2000 or 505, a spray adhesive on the back. And yes, you can. If you're going to make cuddle quilts, you might try that with a scrap basket first. If you don't want the feel of that heat and bond light underneath your applique fabrics. So I generally don't wash what I make. I usually make wall hangings and table mats and that kind of thing. So I haven't. Now I have heat and bond light on the underside of my chickens and chicken salad. I didn't, the makeup bag design was fit for a 5x7. The makeup bag itself is a blank. I got it from All About Blanks. All right, I'm going to put this in here and load the mat. Yeah. Do I have paper on the heat and bond? No, ma'am, it's right here. I pulled it off. Yep. And I need to scan it. So pull in here. Lift this up. Let you see. Okay. So I need to scan it. We've got this blue bar right here. The blue box with a bar across it. That's the scan the mat box. And start. So it's going to take a picture of what it sees just to make sure I get everything on there right. Okay. What would be comparable to Veline? Some projects suggest that for a water soluble sulky standard, that sulky Solvy. Sulky Solvy. Perfect stuff. Oh man. Okay. Let's see here. Let's take a look. Look at that. All right. Now these are grouped. And the reason they're grouped, and I left them exactly as they were when they scanned in, I left them exactly as they were, except like these two right here and the blueberries were a little tiny bit overlapped. So I left them in the exact same place. I did not move them at all in Canvas because when I go to iron them on, it's going to be impossible to know which one goes where. So as soon as these get cut, I'm not going to take them off the mat until it's time to iron them on. Okay. All right. So I'm going to take my little thing here and move this down just a tiny bit to make sure. Matter of fact, I don't know if I'll turn it. I think it'll cut just fine. I'm getting, oh, I didn't, let me move this one. I didn't group these. I'm going to move that one right there, just so it's away from the edge. The blueberries are fine. And the bowl, let me go into the wrench, and I'm going to go to background and tell it light background. This is dark background. So I'm going to tell it light and okay. And now I can see the fabric under the bowl. See how now you can't see what's on the dark? Perfect. Very handy. Thank you, brother, for that. That's very handy. All right. Tell it okay. Go back so you can see dark background fabrics. And now I can see them. See, isn't that cool? I'm going to tell it okay. And please select and cut. Yeah, I saw all those leaves and I'm like, I don't want to cut those out. That's horrible. Tell it start. And I especially don't want to cut it out in the hoop. That would be miserable, wouldn't it? Yeah, that would be miserable. Which sulky, 12, 20, 40, or Michelle, I don't know, sulky solvy. That's all I use. There's solvy. Probably the 12 would be I don't know, whichever one. So there's a sulky solvy, and then there's a super solvy and an ultra solvy. The super and the ultra are not designed to be toppers. That's all I know. I don't know. The standard sulky solvy is the topper. You hand cut all those pieces, Diana. Girlfriend, get yourself a ScanNCut. Look at this thing working at it here, huh? The auto blade or the fabric blade. This is the standard black blade. See that? Regular blade. I could use the fabric blade, but this one's sharp and it works fine. You did now, yeah. Oh, Betsy, I do this kind of cutting on the ScanNCut, all the time. It's always the same, rinse and repeat. Every one of them that I do is exactly the same. So what's around my ScanNCut stylus? You guys will love this. This is called, I call it a Snuggie. They call it something else. So this is made by a 3D printer. One of the cruisers, Eileen, and her husband, I have the card. I have their card. Yeah, it's right here. It's called from jms3dprinting.com. They don't have these on their website, but you can call them and they'll sell you 3 of them. So his name is Jim. JMS 3D Printing. You can stop. Let me make this focus. If you're watching, you can stop the video right here and write down their phone number and give them a call. Okay. Just stop the video and then write it down if you're watching on review. And then this is just a little keychain I got from Glory Torres with the little tape. I think it's adorable. You guys would have to ask her where she got this stuff. But you get these little snuggies and they have the little ring on them. Okay. I think. Pretty neat. Finished cutting. Yay! And I do that because that stylus likes to grow legs, right? So I have one and Keith has one, and it just is so nice that it's, and then this is a Command shaving cup from Command, 3M Command. It's just a Command razor cup. It's designed to go in your shower. And I put it on the side of my ScanNCut. And it works perfect and it holds everything. And I'm telling you guys that again, because literally yesterday I got an email of somebody asking me what that is. All right. I'm going to tell it okay. And I'm going to take the mat, unload the mat. Let's see. So maybe I need to use a new blade. Okay, they did not come out. I probably do need a new blade. That's okay. I don't mind. Nope, They didn't come out. None of these did. I used my bowl almost made it. One little thread. So I don't mind that these did not come out because they're in the right spot for me to find which one. Tracy, the background fabric, you talking about the yellow? This has Heat and Bond Light underneath it. So my bowl worked, but the leaves didn't. And the leaves are going to be a tedious, time-consuming thing to take out. And there you go. E.T., she has the stylus holder and put it on a Kimberbell lanyard. Nice. Yeah, these are great. I mean, it's wonderful. Now, this yellow fabric has SF101 on the back of it. And I need to, they say it doesn't matter what needs to go where as far as thread at this point. So I am going, I think, I'm going to use a darker thread so you guys can see it. I'll just grab a green thread right here. Doesn't matter which. It says a thread, that color, that doesn't matter. What is a fabric blade? Patty, that is a gold topped blade for the ScanNCut, and it has a sharper edge. It's designed specifically to cut fabric. And I've got one. I got one in there. I just didn't have it. I just wasn't using it, which is fine. So here we go. I've got this nice, neat, all my threads cleaned up, and it's fixing to get crazy. So we start the first one, putting it where it doesn't go. I said on Facebook, don't blink because it's not going to be that organized for very long. Let's see. Yeah, you guys will love those little snuggies. I think they charge like $5 for shipping, so you get 3 of them. And I want to say, I don't know how much they are, but whatever it is, it's worth it. Because if you lose your stylus, you're going to pay more to get a new stylus than you will to get these little snuggies with the shipping. So for me, with the auto blade, do I need the fabric blade? Well, Susan, if my auto blade was super sharp, it would have cut right through that. But I have been cutting all of these monsters, every single one of those guys right over there, those monsters, all 12 of them and all the letters I did on that blade. Okay, 3 for $15. Yeah, right. So that snuggie, it's $15, but you're going to keep your own stylus, right? And you can use them on other things too. Tracy, I hooped no-show mesh stabilizer, and I have a piece of, so I got no-show mesh stabilizer on the back. And I've franken-batted my scraps. See that? I just buttered them up together and franken-batted the scraps. And it's, you can see it right there. No show mesh. You can kind of see through it a little bit. And then my scraps. It's the perfect use of, and as a matter of fact, that's a stabilizer scrap from the end of one of the sashings that go in that Happy Halloween quilt. I need to thread my needle and get this going. This is just standard. What? Finish editing the patterns before. Oh, I have to touch the embroidery button. The machine said, what about the start of the Merry Christmas files don't fit in your 9.5 by 14 and you're doing something wrong? So Allison, you might have to resize them just a tiny bit. So that's the thing. If you don't have a big ginormous hoop, okay, 9.5 by 14 is pretty good. there's two different ways you can handle it. You can either resize everything a tiny bit in canvas, right? So import all the design, the nose, the eyes, whatever it is, okay, into canvas, and then put it exactly like it's supposed to look. And then what you do is you constrain proportions. You go into the properties and constrain proportions and just size it down just a teeny tiny bit until it will fit in that 9.5 by 14 hoop. That way you can do a single hooping. And then you send those down and cut the fabric on that smaller scaled design. Then you separate them apart and send them down to be cut. Okay. Or you do the big piece on your domestic sewing machine, and then you can do the smaller parts on your embroidery machine. So that's the only two ways to do it. All right. Have a great day. Yeah, we appreciate you. It's about an inch short. Yeah. So what you can do, Alice, that's what I would do. I did that. I learned how to do that with chicken salad. So you make everything exactly the way you want it. You're looking at it online on Canvas and it all looks right. And I'll show how to do this when we get to sewing Merry Christmas. But you bring it all up and you put everything on screen exactly like you want it. Then you group it and you make it one object and you resize it down a tiny, tiny bit so that it will fit in your largest hoop. Then you separate them apart and you send them down to the ScanNCut to be cut. That's how you do that. So there's not a mesh tearaway that I'm aware of, ML Weber. I don't believe I've ever used a mesh tearaway. Most tearaways feel kind of like paper. So I should show my Roland shoe card I have for stabilizer. Yeah, Diane, those are nice. I got those at Walmart. So you can do it in BES. Yes. You can, if you don't want to do it in Canvas, you can load all of those scanned pieces into your embroidery software. That's another way to do it. It's probably more accurate, really. You load all those pieces into your embroidery software and put them exactly like you want. Like if you scanned in the background image and then you've got it all exactly like you want, select all and rescale them down so that they fit. And you can tell at the bottom, especially in Embrilliance, it'll tell you, no, Tina, I'm not smart. I've just made a lot of mistakes and I know how to do this. So, well, Franny, I can't raise my pressure on the SDX machine. It doesn't do that. I mean, I guess I could. I can go into settings. I don't want to. Anyway, so you can just go in and resize it to just exactly where it's going to fit in your hoop. And truly, you're not going to see that big of a difference from somebody who did it in like a 10 by 16 or larger hoop. It's going to be so small, but it'll fit exactly the way you want it to. So, all right. So I've got my little bowl here. I'm going to have to turn around this way for you guys to see me do my ironing. And I've got a little bloop in my thread that I don't want. We don't like bloops, right? Well, I'm just going to put this down. And it fits perfectly, you guys. It fits absolutely perfectly. And that's what I want. So I did do the 1.5 inflate on the ScanNCut on the SVG file I created from Embrilliance. And it is a tiny bit over the placement line. So 1.0, maybe 1.2 would have been best to be exact. But, okay, so there's the bowl. You cannot see the placement line at all, right? So now I'm going to stitch the tack down, and we're going to see how much larger it is. But even if I do micro trimming or not, that 3mm final satin stitch is going to cover. Pretty sure. Yeah. It's going to go around twice. So did I find SF101 to be too stiff and does it shrink? Rita, yes, SF101 will shrink one direction. And it's on that little paper that comes wrapped on the bolt. It tells you how to shrink it. Again, this isn't going to be washed, so I don't care. So here, take a look at this. So I increased the inflate to 1.5 millimeters. Look at that. That's perfect, you guys. That 3mm final satin stitch is going to cover that completely. Okay. That's how you do that. Yeah. What's the rolling shoe cart I speak of? Tina, it's I have not found it on walmart.com. I have to make a placement line for leaves 1. While this is stitching, I'll go get it. Let me see here. I'm going to show you guys where I'm going. You'll love this thing. Let me get my ScanNCut. I got to get out of here. Good thing everything's on wheels. Let me move this. This is it right here. This is a rolling shoe rack from Walmart, and it's got little nets right under here. And this is where I keep all of my stabilizers, and they're in no order whatsoever. I made little signs, iron on mesh, sticky tearaway with the little cardboards and the chalk things, and they're not in any order at all. But this is how I do it. I love it. This is the best stabilizer storage I have found. That thing was like $15, dirt cheap. Love it. Absolutely love it. And I didn't find them on Walmart.com, but that was a couple years ago that I got that. So it might be there now. Tina, they make a taller one than that. Now that thing, I wouldn't put shoes on there. That thing's a piece of junk for shoes, but it's perfect for rolls and rolls of stabilizer. I really like it. And I've used it for years and years. And I like it because I can see what I've got. I don't like things enclosed. So, but you can look on Walmart.com and it's just pieces of net is all it is. Like I said, it's not that, it is genius. Yeah, Tina, I saw that. I was walking through the store and I saw that and I went, oh, look at that. That's perfect because it's the right length for stabilizer tubes, and the little whatever's. It's wonderful. That over the door works pretty well. I don't have a door to put it over. There's my problem. Look at all of these leaves. This thing has been stitching the whole time. Placement lines. Tina, I love you too, sweetie. Yeah. But they do make a taller one. So that's the small one. And they make a taller one for more shoes, obviously. But I can't believe it's designed for shoes. All right. So here we are now. Look at all those little leaf. Who wants to cut those out by hand? Mm-mm. No, thank you. And especially in the hoop. Not my idea of a good time. That is a primary reason I have ScanNCut. Primary. There's a reason I got it in the first place. Now, because leaves 1 is this piece, and so I am going to spend time now cutting each one of those little leaves out and ironing them down into the placement lines. Glenna, I don't know about the hoop size for Merry Christmas. I I haven't looked at it at all. I haven't put it into Canvas. I haven't played with it. I haven't scanned it. I don't have a thing. Glory. Oh, I mentioned you earlier. Because you made me the little tape thing that holds on my stylus. We're making the June Kimberbell mini quilt, and it's the blueberries block. That's what I'm doing today. So you guys, our hour is up. We're 5 minutes over, and I need to finish this up. So I will play around with this some more, and then I've got some more. I've got 20 minutes worth of block stitching I need to do. And then I have video editing to do, and it's a very busy day for me. So I hope each one of you have a great day. If you enjoyed the content, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and we can hang out more often. This is a lot of fun here, and we really enjoy our time together. And if you're watching after the morning, thank you for taking time out of your day and spending it with me. All right. I will talk to you soon. You guys go sew something.